What's up, Dragon Nation? I'm Rich with Dragon Nation Gaming. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Last episode, we got ourselves a ramp built, well, a redesign of our ramp. What I want to do in this episode is, I'm tired of welding everything up by hand. We're going to go ahead and build ourselves a grinder slash welder ship with a little bit of a different design. But let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, so some people might recognize this design right here. This I just spawned in so I can show you guys real quick. This is the crab, but I want to go ahead and change this up a little bit. Add a little bit more power. Also, what I want to do is I never really liked how far away the grinders and the welders were from the cockpit. If we get into the cockpit, you can see that if you're looking forward and you're welding stuff up, you can't really see the tips of the welders or the grinders, which makes it kind of difficult to try to judge how close you are to an item. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and bring those in a little bit. The way we're going to do that is with hinges. It's going to be a whole lot of work. I'll go ahead and delete this here in a second, but we need to go ahead and get started. Let me first make sure we have plenty of hydrogen. We have plenty of power. We're good to go. We'll go ahead and grab our... Let me actually put all this stuff that I have on me in this order. Because I do have some scrap metal on me. So, with the ramp, I'm still trying to figure that out. Here pretty soon, I'll probably show a video on it if I get it working properly. But let's go ahead and just grab our starter material. So, the bases, or the... Yeah, the base for this ship is a large cargo container. Now, the reason I use a large cargo container instead of a smaller one, if I can find the large cargo container, there it is. The reason I use this instead of a smaller one is large access points. I kind of need 3 for this vehicle. The reason for that is you can only pass in vanilla, you can only pass components through large access points. You can't pass them through the small ones. So this cargo container, what I need is I need a large access point on either side for the arms. So that way I can connect rotors, hinges, whatever else I want to connect to it. Next thing I'm going to need is I need a third one for underneath. That is so I can connect a connector. So we're going to place it just like that. Now I should have access on the side, this side for that arm, this side for that arm, and then one underneath for a connector. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get that set up. Now, we did this in a live stream and it worked out pretty well. So what I want is I want a vehicle that I could just rotate the arms and switch it from welder ship to a grinder ship. It's not really necessary. It's probably best to go ahead and build a dedicated welder ship or a dedicated grinder ship, but it's complicated. It's the way I like to build, so we're gonna give it a shot and see how well it works out. So one thing I do know that I'm gonna need to do is I need this thing. If we look over here, 4 large thrusters is how much I need, because when that cargo container is completely filled, I'm gonna need that amount of thrust, especially since I'm using vanilla blocks. But I need the arm to actually go around the thruster. Now on this design, the thrusters are connected right to the cockpit, but I need them to come out one more, so we need one more space. With this one, I'm using the conveyor frame, but I'm gonna come out one more with one more conveyor frame. The large conveyors, which you have right here, if we check them out, they're actually 3 blocks wide. That would be too long. I want to switch that to only 2 blocks. That's why we're using the conveyor frame, because conveyor frames are only 1 block thick. So I should have, yep, there they are. So we'll put 2 of those on either side. Right, like that. Now what I need is, I need the rotor, because we need to switch this from a welder to a grinder. So I need to be able to rotate those arms, so yeah, a rotor. Now this is Clang just waiting to happen, but it's kind of fun to use sometimes. So we'll go with advanced rotor, and we'll put that right on the end. I might have to dig this place out a little bit. I don't think it's going to be wide enough. But there's that rotor and that rotor. Next thing I need to do is we're going to need a 3-way connection. I need large access to go to the advanced rotor, which does have a large access. But I also needed to go forward for the welders and then backwards for the grinders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a conveyor junction, and I'm going to make sure that we have large access on those 3 ends. So we have one right here that will go to the rotor, then we have this one in the back, and then one in the front. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that they're matched up. Right. Oh, nope. There. Try to get them looking exactly the same. Now, on the old ship, you'll see that I came out a little bit so that way I can make sure that the grinders are in front of the atmospheric thruster. Reason for that is I wanted to make sure that those grinders didn't grind anything back here. I also wanted to keep them ahead of the cockpit, because the effective range of the grinders and the welders are pretty short. So if I'm sitting there tapping on something with my cockpit, I still wouldn't be able to weld it up, so I have to bring it forward a little bit. On this, I used just regular large conveyors. But what we're going to do is we're going to use hinges instead, which is about the same size as the large conveyor. Now the reason for that is so that way I could go ahead and bring the tips and tip it closer to the cockpit so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I just have to be careful with the grinder to make sure it doesn't go in too far, so it won't grind down that cockpit. So let's go ahead and get those hinges. So all together, I'm going to need 4 hinges. I also got to be careful about which way they fold, or which way they bend. So I need them to be sideways, like that. Yeah, I was worried that was going to happen. It's alright. And then this one. But yeah, I'm going to have to get those rotors built so that way we can go ahead and set them up. Get some torque on them so this doesn't actually happen. But yeah, let me go ahead and do that real quick. Get the rotors and everything else built so we can go ahead and finish the hinges. Alright, now that I got that done, what we need to do is I need to make sure that those rotors are turning the same way. So if I go in right now to those rotors, I might be too low for this. This might actually hit. Let's go to these rotors and reverse them. You'll notice that the rotors actually turn in opposite directions. What I want to do is I want them to turn in the same direction. So we're going to go ahead and go into the control panel. We're going to go to the rotor, and we're just going to turn one of them around. So now they're going to be going the exact same way. What I also want to do is go ahead and up their velocity just a little bit. Let's go to 5. Yep, I'm hitting over here. I need to dig this out just a little bit. Alright, now that we got that, what I need to do is I need to get those hinges set up. But I gotta figure out what I want to set them up to. Alright, so right now we have them set up at a 45-degree angle. I will have to change that later on, but for right now, this is okay. So what I need to do right now is we need to get the cockpit set up, because we need to test it out to make sure that we're not interfering with the cockpit when we put the welders and everything on. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to go with conveyor junction, so that way I also have a snap point for gyroscopes. And we're going to go up to about, I think right there should be good. Try to put the cockpit right in the center. I just want to leave like kind of like a little hump right there. I also need to go ahead and grab resources as well. Yep. I need to grab some real quick. Let me up. Yeah, I need to make more room. Alright, construction, motor. Looks like I need to make small steel tubes and stuff like that. I don't think I have any. Nope. We need to make some real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and say 300. But yeah, we should be able to finish the conveyor junctions right now. Alright, next thing I need to do is we need to go ahead and get the cockpit in. And that will allow me to figure out the extent on those hinges. So we need to get this. The reason I set up the conveyor junctions like that, if we look at the back of the cockpit, it has the small access points in the top, left, and right. So we need to kind of bring it down just a little bit. Like, actually, one more. Yeah, I need to bring it... Do I want it there, though? That's the question. Yeah, we'll bring it down one more. So let's go ahead and grab another conveyor junction. It gives me another snap point for other stuff as well. More gyros if I really need them. I think we tested this out, and 4 gyros were not enough for it. So let me go ahead and get this cockpit in. Is it? I can't really see. Hold on. There we go. Oh, no, that's the top. There it is. So right like that. Then I need to go ahead and get that welded, but for the time being, we can go with welders. So right now I'm going to go ahead and use vanilla blocks. But later on, I'll go ahead and use modded stuff to make it a little bit easier on myself. So we'll put that one there and that one there. 45 degrees seems to be okay. We'll have to double check that and make sure. Once we get the cockpit built, I'll go ahead and check it, see if we do have enough room. If not, we're going to have to move that angle a little bit. But I also want to make sure that the welders are in front of the cockpit as well. Which they are. They're a little bit in front of it. Which is exactly what I wanted. But what I need to do right now is I need to go ahead and get this all welded up. Kind of thinking maybe I need to drop that cockpit down even more. But we'll figure that out. This is going to take me a minute to go ahead and get these welded up. Let me also go ahead. I also need to get these hinges set up in a group as well. But what I need right now is I also need a grinder. So the vanilla grinders we're going to actually keep. We're not going to go with modded ones on this one. So this grinder and that grinder. Now what I also need to do is I need to go ahead and straighten those hinges out. So I need to figure out which hinges those are. Let's actually give this a shot. So control panel. Hinge. We should have 4 of them. I just need to figure out. Go reverse. Alright, so that one and probably this one maybe. Yep, those 2 right there. So I'll go ahead and set those up in a group and also get them named. I'll also go ahead and get everything welded and we can go ahead and test this out. But I do already know these hinges, I'm going to have to change the angle. 45 degrees is going to be too close to the cockpit. I think it will actually grind the cockpit. So we're going to have to test that out and see how well it works. Alright, now, oops. Looks like I'm out of interior place as well. Hold on. Let's go ahead and get another 500. There we go. So what we need to do right now is we need to go ahead and test this out and see if those grinders are too close to that cockpit. I'm not going to sit in it because then the grinders will kill me. So all we need to do is find the grinders, turn them on, and see how this is going to work. So, on. Yep, it grinds them. So what I need to do is I need to figure out the angle that we need to be at in order for those grinders not to cut or to grind down that cockpit. I'm thinking all I need to do is find those hinges, and I just need to change them. Let's go ahead and try to find them. I think I have it as grinder, hinge grinder. There we go. So right now I had them set to 45-degree angle. We're going to go down just a little bit. We're going to go negative 43. There we go. Let's go ahead and reverse it. And make sure that they are at 43 degrees. All right. So let me actually double check, because I think... yeah, that one I need to... is a different way. Hold on. Yeah, because the lower limit is supposed to be... shit. 0 on this one. Yeah, because I got the hinges kind of turned around a little bit. And then this is supposed to be 43. There we go. Now, hinge grinder. Let's go to reverse. Like that. Now let's see. Yep, they're at 43 degrees. So, yeah, just make sure whenever you're trying to do stuff like this, it's a lot easier if the hinges are pointed opposite directions. Now I need to go ahead and get that. Oh, you know what? I got a plan. Let's find the cockpit. We'll get it back in, and then I'll turn on the welders. See if it will weld up that cockpit. So you... right there. Yep. Alright, now what we need to do... this is pretty much how the whole thing's going to work. It's going to be on timers to help this out a little bit. But control panel, then we need the hinges. The ones for the grinders need to reverse. They need to extend to go straight. Then we find the rotors. And they will reverse. Oh, they're going opposite directions again? Thought I changed that. Maybe not. I'll have to figure it out. But now that those are there, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and find the hinges for the welders. So hinge welder, reverse, and now those come together. Now I think we should be able to turn on the welders, and it should weld that up. Let's see. So weld, right here. I need to set those. I don't need a group on those. There we go. So the components that I grind down the cockpit with were sitting in the grinder, and now they just pass right through the welders. So at least now we know the conveyors are also working. But as you can see, if you look on the left hand side, you could barely see the tips of those welders. So that should work fine. Now what we need to worry about is we need to worry about thrusters. We need to worry about power. What I'm going to do with the power is we're going to go battery. This one actually ran out of power. This one has 6 batteries. I'm thinking I might want to go ahead and go a little bit more. I'm not sure. Let me see. You know what? Yeah, we'll go a few more. I have a little bit of room I can mess with. I'm not exactly sure where to place them, but I'll get them placed, get them welded up, and then we need to think about thrust. Alright, now that we got that done, I need to grab some power real quick. And I'm starting to run out of hydrogen as well. Flying around just a little too much. Alright, so here's our batteries. If you want to count them, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 large ones, and then a ton of small ones. I don't know. It's got to provide a little bit of power. Not a whole lot, but at least enough to get us, to keep us in the air long enough to get some stuff built. Alright, next thing I want to do is we need to go ahead and set up the thrusters. So we're just going to go large atmospheric thrusters, and then we're going to go with small ones as well. So 6. So like I said, I want to go ahead and put 4 large atmospheric thrusters pointing downwards, so that way I can make sure I have plenty of power, and of course I can't connect you. Well, damn it. I'm gonna have to place something there. Hold on. Just temporary. until I can get this fully designed. Alright, just like that, and on this side as well. So now we need those large atmospheric thrusters. Nope, upside down. There you go. Why can I not? Oh, the welders are in the way. Hold on. Yeah, those are in the way. Let me go ahead and move those. So hinge. And I think it's hinge welder. Yep, let's reverse. There we go. Now I should have the room to put those in. No? Why not? Oh, because of the large cargo container. Yeah, I need to come out one more. Alright, control 2. Let's go ahead and grab another conveyor hinge. No, not conveyor sorter. Or not conveyor hinge, but another conveyor junction. There we go. So yeah, this is why I need to bring them out, because the large cargo container is a bit too wide. So right like that, and that. So once this thing is fully loaded, it's going to be extremely heavy. That's why I need a bit more power when it comes to thrusters. 4 of them should be enough, but we'll have to see. I hope it's enough. I really, really hope it's enough. But now what we need is, we need large thrusters in the back. Which I also need to go ahead and leave some space right here for small thrusters. So I think we'll come down to here. I also want to try to make sure they're even with the bottom. I think that should work. And then we need another set up here, which I'm actually going to bring back like that, just to change up the look just a little bit. Alright, next thing we need is we need thrust on the side. Now that we got those done, I might actually bring those thrusters down one more. That might be a good idea. We'll have to see. Alright, now what I need is the side thrust. So we're going to go ahead and turn these. Now, I have subgrid damage turned off, so this will not be an issue. But in your world, you might have it turned on. So you'll have to be careful that those thrusters don't damage the hinge and that grinder. I guess I could try to figure out a different place to put these thrusters, but for right now, this will be okay. I probably would go ahead and try to find somewhere else. Alright, so there's those side thrusters. Now we need the ones on the other side. Then we need to think about front thrust. Now, this is going to be the problem. We already tested this out in live stream when we figured out that 8 is not enough. 8 atmospheric thrusters is just not enough to hold this thing forward or to stop it. To keep it from, if you dip it down, it just sinks. We also figured out that 16 isn't really enough. I mean, it is passable with 16 small thrusters, but it would be nice if we could use mods. But to put this on the Steam Workshop, I'm just going to use vanilla stuff, and then later on I'll add more powerful thrusters when I can. So all I'm going to do is fill every empty space on the front that I can with thrust. Actually, I might want to switch this out for thrusters. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I probably will. Put that there. And so that's 8. I'll change things up, try to make it look pretty as much as I can. I just want to see, I'm kind of curious to see how many I can fit on here. Alright, so kind of, it's not the greatest looking. I guess I could put some across the top as well. But yeah, they keep nerfing thrusters, which kind of irritates the hell out of me. But there we go. So this is pretty much a ship. What I need to do now is I need to go ahead and put the timers on it. Get those set up. I need to change the angle of the hinge for the grinders. I think we already did that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some skin on this thing. Then get it on the Steam Workshop and get this video with it. So let me go ahead and get that all finished, and then we'll check this thing out. Alright, so when this thing is fully charged, it'll give you about... Oh shit, stop. There you go. When this thing is fully charged, it'll give you about 40 minutes worth of welding time, which is fine. It'll work perfectly for what I need it for. So what happens if I can get this thing stopped? I hate vanilla thrusters so much. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. It's going to kind of suck to try to look at this thing because there's no light. It's nighttime. But we should be able to kind of see. Yeah, I do need to add more gyroscopes to this thing as well. So right now we have it set up in the orientation. Let's turn off this real quick. Right now we have it in the orientation to where it will be welding. What we need to do is at some point maybe I need to grind. We need to change that over. So let's go ahead and bring on the HUD so I can see what the hell I'm doing. So what we have is we have 6 timers. What's going to happen is as soon as I hit the right number pad, the right number, which I think for the grinders to bring them up is number 7. Once I hit that, the hinges for the welders are going to straighten out. The rotors are going to turn. And then when the rotors are done, the grinder hinges will come in. So let's go ahead and test that out real quick. So 7. So those hinges go out, rotors turn, and then the grinder hinges will come in. There it is. Now, say I want the welders. All we have to do is hit number 9. And on the toolbar, we actually went ahead and did that in the live stream where we put the timers right next to the tool to go to that timer. So that way it's easier to figure out which one's which. So number 9 is for the welders. And it just comes right back. So yeah, this ship is pretty freaking big. It's all vanilla. I'm going to go ahead and change that up. I'm going to add the twin welders to this thing so that way I have a little bit better welding distance. But this thing is called the King Crab. Right now it is on the Steam Workshop. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description and also get this video up there as well. Now, I'm also thinking about going ahead and switching out the atmospheric thrusters for modded ones from the tiered engine super pack. Now, I try to find a good one for the sci-fi. If I could find a sci-fi one, I'll go ahead and use that. But for right now, we'll just use the tiered engines. But yeah, I kind of like the design. It looks kind of cool. It definitely looks like a crab. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with it. There is a little bit more space. Why do I have... Did I really put the remote and the antenna out there? I guess I did. Huh. I might change that. I wasn't even paying attention. I probably just put it in there real quick so I could get them together. But yeah, this thing can be controlled as a drone. It does have a camera on the bottom. And it does have a camera in the front. And if we go in, let me actually try this out. So that's the bottom one. Here's the top one. Unfortunately, we cannot see what tool is in the front from the camera, which kind of sucks. Would be nice if I could do that, but that's one of those things I guess you could figure out. But yeah, we can control this thing remotely. It's probably not the best thing to do, but it's there just in case you do need it. But yeah, I need to get this thing to work. I got a lot of stuff to weld up. I got to get my base started, at least the armor blocks for it. And then I guess the next episode, yeah, see how this thing just will not stop with the front thrusters that it has? I'm going to use modded. Screw it. But yeah, anyways, now that we have this thing, we can go ahead and get a lot of stuff done that I do need to get done. So next episode, we're going to be going probably back to the base and trying to get that set up. But until then, make sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.